Well, that was a lot of talking. Let's install these CLI. As I said, on Mac we will have to write sudo, on Windows you don't need this, and then npm. And what is npm? npm is the Node Package Manager, so for this to work you will need to install Node.js. You don't need Node.js because you're going to write any Node.js code. We're not going to write any Node code. We're not going to write our own server-side code. We will need it solely for now for this Node Package Manager, which is the de facto tool to use for front-end development to manage your dependencies. So we will definitely need this. And also because this development server, which will be included in the template we're using, so we don't have to write it on our own, but it will still use Node.js to run. So we need it for this too. So make sure to download the current version here, the 6.8.1 version in this case, when at the time I record this video, but the latest one you see here. And then download it, run through the installer, and after it finishes, you will have Node.js installed and you're ready to use npm and Node.js for the server. And then you can continue here. So sudo npm and then install -g to install it globally on your machine, the Vue CLI. Now after hitting enter, I'll have to enter my password here, and that will pull down and install the CLI on my machine, and I'll be back once it is finished. Now that the installation did finish, I can navigate into the folder where I want to store my project folder, where I want to create my Vue CLI project or my Vue.js project. And I can then do this by simply running Vue. This is available since we just installed the Vue CLI, and then which template I want to use, so which template of my project I want to use. If we have a look at the official Vue CLI GitHub page, you can find it by Googling for Vue CLI. You will also find the explanations here, but you will also find the available templates I was mentioning on these slides earlier. So I'll choose the Webpack Simple setup, which has everything we need for this course. So here it's all about writing Vue init to initialize a new project, then the template you want to use, which is Webpack Simple, and then the project folder you want to create. I'm going to name my Vue CLI. This name is totally up to you. Now after hitting enter, this will set up this project. As you will see, it will use the 2.x version by default, which is what you want. If you wanted to use Vue 1.x, you have to attach this hashtag after the template. So yeah, I will confirm the default project name, default description, as well as my name here. And then we're done. So now let's follow these commands and enter the Vue CLI folder we just created with that. And then we have to run npm install to pull down all the dependencies this needs, because this just created the template with the package.json. And in this package.json file, that's our dependency management file, so to say, all the dependencies of this project are listed. And we're installing all these dependencies here. That being said, there is almost only development-only dependencies. The only production dependency should be Vue.js, the rest will be Webpack, and so on. Quite a bit, as you can see, but no worries, we don't need to deploy all of them. As I just said, most of them are only needed for development. So going back up, we see that thereafter we should run npm run dev inside this project folder. So let's do this. And this will start the development server we can use, and it will keep running, so keep this process running, and will automatically recompile everything and reload our server automatically whenever we change a file. So let's visit this URL here, in case it didn't open up automatically, which it did here. And you should see this starting page. Now that's just a little starting page which shipped with the template. Of course we're going to edit this, and this is what we'll do next. Have a look at the folder structure which was created and how we can work with that project.